What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another SNA podcast video. And this is the post-show edition of AEW Collision after AEW Revolution. And this was a very entertaining AEW Collision. Even though they did that much hyping for big business this coming Wednesday, but they did continue to advertise and remind everybody that big business is right around the corner, and we're going to have so many much matches, and even some more matches that were added on the card on tonight's announcements on who exactly is going to be competing next on this Wednesday's big event on March 13th, and we're along with the surprising announcement of something which we're going to be seeing on the show, whether if it's going to be at the beginning of the show, the middle of it, or even the end, which some tells me is going to be in between the beginning or the middle. But either way, we can talk more about that another time. But for now, let's get started on to the first match of the show, which this was the second best match of the night between Bryan Danielson and Shane Taylor. With Shane Taylor, excuse me, was I think start off with the offense and did his job getting the first hits onto the American Dragon until soon after he came back and started fighting back, and this is where he put Shane Taylor right into the upper right corner. He put his leg right onto the canvas. This is where what's his name? Nigel McGuinness was talking so much mad sugar honey iced tea onto Bryan Danielson, but this is where he confronted him and he started saying nothing. This is where he put his hands up. Hey, I'm just the sorry sack of. Oh, you get the rest. I'm just the sorry sack of biased commentator that has an opinion, there's nothing wrong with having one of those. And this is with Bryan Danielson, that's fine. You don't have to like me, but you don't have to be talking poorly about me and bad mouthing even. And then this is where Bryan Danielson then continued to swing his leg right into the steel ring post, right onto the upper right side. This is where he started working, doing those working kicks right onto Shane Taylor's hamstring. As soon as he got back up, right in the middle of the ring, this is where we got Bryan Danielson started going for those right side kicks. With Shane Taylor tried to go for a forearm, but he ducks and started continuing with those kicks until he hits a big kick right on the back of his leg, and he tripped him over right onto that very exact same knee. And this is where he started going for his yes roundhouse kicks, well, formerly known as the yes round. And the fans yes, we want to see more. We want to see you continue doing those kicks on the Shane Taylor. Just where he started repeatedly doing yes, repeatedly onto the Ring of Honor star. This is where. And he tried to go for the final kick. This is where he tried to go for a kick. This is where he successfully kicked it. This is where he thought it was it. But I think it was Super Ninja, or should I say Super Ninja Austin? I promised you viewers, now I'm going to start sounding like The Rock, saying on Super Ninja Austin's opinion. I said appearance. Where that even came from. But never, just pretend that I didn't even say that. But anyways, on Super Ninja Austin's opinion, I would say this is too easy to be a it's too easy to be a quick match. And this when this was the case, when Shane Taylor kicked out right after one at one even, this is where Nigel McGuinness and Tony Schiavone's wait, did he literally just kick out of Bryan Danielson? Which Nigel McGuinness was in complete joy, and I was thinking to myself, and telling Nigel McGuinness, Nigel, right here, there's nothing wrong with rooting for Shane Taylor, he's completely talented, but don't do it on the expense of Bryan Danielson and start insulting him, even though it must be one of your arch rivals in your days in ROH. But that doesn't excuse you of continuing to badmouth you. And it's like what Triple H said. If you're going to be acting like the same person from 10 years ago, there's really something wrong with you. But yeah, that's what that fits Nigel McGuinness's bill. which I'll say like at least Corey Graves would eventually change from his I'll say naughty or his I say unnicely I'll say anything but nice attitude. I would say yeah. I bet he will probably change before Nigel, but that's another story for another day. But anyway, this is where we got Brian Danielson then placed Shane Taylor right into the upper left side. This is where he started hitting his repeated running drop kicks, which they were formerly known as the yes drop kicks. When fans were like, "Oh yeah," that's when he went back and forth, coming from the diagonal corner in the bottom right. But when he tried to go for it one more time, this is where he gets hit, get a huge clothesline by the Ring of Honor star. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where we got Brian Danielson kicks out at shoulder at the shoulder coming up first at 2.7. This is where we got Lee Moriarty's don't let them make you lose your confidence and your focus. He did this to plenty of people, but that doesn't mean he's invincible. And this is where Shane Taylor's like, yeah, you're right, Lee. I better come up with another move. The come up with one of my moves that put my opponents away. But before he can do that, this is where Brian Danielson hits a big right hand right into the face of Shane Taylor, and repeatedly doing so until he gets headbutted by Shane Taylor right into the head of Brian Danielson. This is where he choke slammed him right into the middle of the ring, runs right in the top corner rope, hits a big splash right on the American Dragon. This is where he nearly got him, because as soon as Aubrey was about to hit 3, this is where Danielson got the shoulders up at 2.999999999 double triple nine minus 0.1 away from the N3. Wow, this is something I haven't seen in AEW in weeks. They finally have a spot like this now. I mean, it's good to see it on every occasion to see if Brian Danielson can kick out so close, or anybody in AEW can do a near fall kick out at any moment. But yeah, excuse me. But anyway, this is where we got Shane Taylor then gets back up. This is where he waited until Brian Danielson crawls into the bottom right corner to hit his cannonball maneuver, which I believe that's a signature move. As soon as he tried to go for it, this is where Brian Danielson moves out of the way right on time. And this is where we got Brian Danielson crawl right into the upper left side. This is where he started doing the yes chants right until he tried to go for the yes lock. I mean, not yes lock, the running knee. That's right. Which Tony Schiavone was about to shout out, but he was like, or not, or maybe not. He's about to hit the running knee. And this is where we got Shane Taylor catches him. He's like, or maybe not. And this is where he spins him around. This is where he puts him on his shoulders, his belly on his shoulder, spin him around, try to go for a power slam. But this is where Brian Danielson flips out of it, hits a roundhouse kick. This is where he tried to go for a second time, which he successfully did, and a 3 in a row. This is where we got Shane Taylor trying to go for a clothesline. He ducks out of it, turns back around, trying to run up to Shane Taylor, but Shane Taylor ducks again. This is where Brian Danielson did one more time. Except this time running towards the bottom right, turned back around, got that guaranteed running knee because the first attempt didn't work, and the second time did, and that's on page 4003, on my made up wrestling rule handbook, which I need to write down right now and make sure and start selling it online here on my future YouTube website store. But anyways, this is where we got Brian Danielson pins Shane Taylor for the 1-2-3. Your winner, Brian Danielson. But before he can even fully celebrate, this is where we got Will Ospreay coming out there, giving him a taste of his own medicine from this past Wednesday. And he was like, I'm coming here to just congratulate you, man. Brian Danielson's like, no problem with you. I just want to say congratulations, and I'm impressed that from a guy that's been doing this for over 20 years is still doing it at his older years, and he's still killing it with this still killing it at with this excuse me with this very gifted what's that this very, I'll say not edge, but more likely a ability uh, ability. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'll say his, like, he still has this talented ability from since ever since he started his wrestling career. And I was just thinking about that right before Will Ospreay did, when I was just watching Bryan Danielson wrestle Shane Taylor live. But anyway, this is where we got uh and this is where Will Ospreay's like, yeah, like even on the highest and levels, like, and thanks lads right here for watching. Again, this is where it's like and before I can even say anything else about Bryan Danielson, this is where the fans start chanting, like, Ospreay, 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 Ospreay. It's like the ole, 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 ole chants like they do with Sami Zayn on WWE, except it's the Will Ospreay version with them chanting Ospreay, and then the way they sing this or chant this kind of this song, like cheers from the fans. They were like, Ospreay, 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 Ospreay. But yeah, they were chanting that. This is where Will Ospreay's like, you're too kind, my good people. Like, I appreciate that. And that's where they start doing it nonstop until Will Ospreay starts finally fully speaking on what else he needs to say to Bryan. And he's like, but in a short time, Danielson, he's like I noticed a lot of few things around here, like, right, Danielson, like, and he's like, it's Sam's backstage, that's very lovely, and what like he's like, but also, like, when you walk up and down this hole, this way, like, everybody, and he was like. And this is where he was like oh, like, look at this guy. This is MF and Bryan Danielson. Well, I'm not sure if he even said that, but they quickly censored it out, which I didn't catch what exactly he said. But I'm assuming he said the S. Or no, it wasn't that. He's like, oh, sugar honey iced tea, yeah, because yeah, they starting some business. Like, you inspire guys like me and inspire every single one of these guys. Like, here it's an attendant that just loves you and pro wrestling. Like, and half of that, the reason why they love professional wrestling is because of you, Bryan. And some of them might like wrestling because of me too. Like, even though I didn't got my start in America, but yeah, like, I did brought the mainstream attention to everybody who knows me, thanks to the world of professional wrestling and my talents. But he's like, but I got to give you high credit because everybody around the world knows who you are, at least in wrestling side of things. Like, and I want to say, absolutely, yeah, you did well done. And then everybody in the arena agreed because they let Ospreay know, because they've been chanting out the yes chants in agreement with Tony Schiavone noticing this. They're like, yeah, they totally agree. Like, this is where it, and this is where he's like, and he's like, and you cheeky little slug, but everybody was cracking up about, you interrupted my celebration on my official debut match on AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday. So I thought I'd return you the favor, and I got this warm feelings about. I got this warm feeling in my tum tum, even though he didn't say tum tum, but it's kind of like a reference to another European wrestler that's from England as well, which is not really much of a famous wrestler. Only like online he is, if you're in the IWC. But yeah. But yeah, either way, I want to give a shout out to him, but to my boy Simon Miller. But anyways, he said I got this warm feeling in my tum tum, like that maybe, like just maybe, like Mr. Danielson, like you have something, you have something that you wanted to ask me, which you didn't even ask, like when you interrupted me this past Wednesday. Danielson's like, oh yeah, I guess I do, but I don't know how. I did not know how to tell you, like the way it was, the way he was looking like it in his eyes, which he was looking at the fans, where the fans were like, "What was your?" They were like, "What's your reason why?" Like, yeah, but we agree. This is what Brian Danielson is like. Well, that's about half right. What you're saying. Like, I have something I wanted to ask you. I have something that I want to say to you, Mr. Ospreay. Like, the first thing I want to ask, like, welcome to AEW. And the fans like, yeah, like how professional of you, like finally properly welcome him to AEW. Like now he's officially all elite, like, and making that known from the past month. And this is where then Bryan Danielson then adds the second reason, like, of confronting Will Ospreay last Wednesday, which fans were chanting out, yes, 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 continuously without stopping. This is where he's like, secondly, like, I saw the match you had with Takeshita, like at AEW Revolution, obviously, this past Sunday, or last Sunday, to be exact. He was like, not only you won that match, but that was one of the best matches that I've ever seen in my life. Like, at least as a professional wrestler. But anyway, this is where he's like, I also listened to you, Ospreay, in the media scrum after that match, where you said 4 years, like, he's been screaming into the camera, he's the best wrestler in the world, and he came here to prove it. Prove it ever since signing. And this is where Bryan Danielson's like, well, I want to give you that chance to prove that. And the fans like, yes, like, this means we're going to have a dream match coming to AEW here with the Aerial Assassin taking on the American Dragon. Like, we'll take it any day, whether if it's on a weekly televised show or pay-per-view or any kind of event in pro wrestling. Like, we would love to see that match. Like, and those hardcore fans would probably think we would pay good money to see it, like we did with this paying for our tickets as a live attendant in AEW Collision tonight. But this is where, well, I'm not sure if it was live. I think it was pre-taped. I heard it from online on a wrestling news video that this was pre-taped, and they named pretty much everything what happened, which it was true on what happened on what went down on AEW Dynamite. Not Dynamite, Collision. I said Dynamite, that's Wednesday. This is Saturday. But anyway, this is where we got Bryan Danielson continue saying, like, how about we do a match? It'll be me, Bryan Danielson, against Will Ospreay in a match at AEW Dynasty. Which is going to be which I think it's going to be on at April 23rd, 26th. Either way, I think it's April 26th, yeah. And who you think's going to win that match? Let me know in the comments down below, which, yeah, will Ospreay gladly accept. This is where, Bryan Danielson shook hands with Will Ospreay when I think it was Danielson offered his hand. This is where Will Ospreay was like, now I'm going after, I will beat you. I must warn you. This is where Bryan Danielson I'm not sure about that. Just because I may have lost to Eddie Kingston, that doesn't mean the lightning's going to strike twice in my direction. Like, I am going to redeem myself and beat you, Will Ospreay, which they were exchanging comments on each other, like, even though they were not on their microphones. But yeah, this is where we made it official that we will see the Aerial Assassin and the American Dragon in a one-on-one classic, which I think this is going to be definitely the number one best match of the night. Like on April 26th, which will be on the Sunday on that day, of course. And do you think that AEW is going to successfully execute booking this match? And do you think this is going to grab your eyes and it's going to be a 5-star classic? Or do you think it's just going to be a basic match that's going to only get like 3, or if they're lucky, get 4 stars? I'll say if everything goes according to plan and if they put on an excellent performance, I think they're going to get 5 stars, because that's what both Danielson and Ospreay will get when they face somebody that they can get in the ring with successfully. like with Bryan Danielson against Kenny Omega in that match on Grand Slam in 2021 for the AEW Championship. Now, do you think it's going to be a match like that, or do you think it's going to be a little more better than that? Which I wouldn't use the term better. I'll say going to be. I'll say it's going to be more bigger, like a bigger, entertaining match that will grab the attention of all the wrestling fans that decide to order the pay-per-view and watch. But let's move on to the next slide. We got this is where we got the Young Bucks and Kazuchika Okada next, like in a match. Like it didn't even take long. It's just the new version of the Elite, like taking on these enhancement guys. Which I believe it started off with Nicholas Jackson and one of these guys, these three enhancement guys. This is where Okada got in the ring. This is where it didn't took him not that much long at all. Like when he was grappling around, toss this guy right into his corner. He got tagged by his tag partner. This guy that just got tagged in. This is where he tried to hit some attacks right on the Kazuchika Okada, but Okada did not play no games or played around whatsoever in that matter. This is where he turned it around and hit the Rainmaker on this jobber. Got the 1, 2, 3. It was just simple as that. Like we all knew that this was going to be a predictable match with Okada and the Bucks are going to win this contest. But it's where before they even have a chance to celebrate the match, it's where we got Penta El Zero Miedo like come out there for the save after they did a post match beatdown on these young enhancement guys until Eddie Kingston and Penta El Zero Miedo came out and started fighting the Rainmaker and the EVPs. This is where they outnumbered them. Like even though they came up there with some strong momentum, both the former AEW Tag Team Champion, one half of the AEW Tag, and current New Japan strong openweight in the AEW World and AEW Continental Crown Championship. Let me rephrase that. Until they beat him up. This is where Kazuchika Okada's like, I will be this championship sooner rather than later. And then Eddie, you better kiss this goodbye because the Rainmaker is going to hit a thunder on you, and it's going to cost you your AEW World Continental Crown Championship. And I'm not sure what favor he's doing, if it's going to cost him. But you get the point where I'm coming from. But anyways, this is where we got a big surprising return of somebody we haven't seen in months that must have been either suffering from injury or having some visa problems of showing back up in America from his home country in England, which is none other than the returning bastard Pac came in there and fended. And this is where Pac and Kazuchika Okada gotten face to face when the Young Bucks went out there when they saw Pac running. This is where Okada's like, you may be running like little twin chickens. Like I'm staying right in here and going face to face like a man, like I'm used to. This is where Okada was intimidating Pac because he was more taller than him, obviously taller. Like if he was like a Japanese Rock. And this is where, being at a height of 6'6" or even 7, with Pac's like, you may be tall, big boy, but I got all the talent and the skills and the ability to take you down. Like I brought down plenty of giants in my in my career in professional wrestling. And this is where Okada's like, oh, really? Like, I would like to see you intimidate me with this forearm right across your face. And this is where he hits it right into Pac's face. But Pac answers back with the forearm. They start going back in each other. Fans were chanting, holy sugar, honey, iced tea. I was thinking, like, surprisingly, this time they're not muting it out like they've been doing for the past couple weeks. Maybe because they were thinking, like, it doesn't matter if the crowd says it. Like, as long as the wrestlers don't say it. Like, as long as they don't say it too much, I should say. Like, they won't have to worry about muting the censored words or the non-PG words. The better turnable phrase to call it. Yeah. But anyway, this is where Kazuchika start hitting some forearms. That's where they start going this until Kazuchika cut the argument of forearms with a big European uppercut until Pac answers him back with a spinning roundhouse kick right into the gut of the Rainmaker. This is where the former man of gravity forgot, like, then Irish whip him right to the right side to the left, right after he hit a roundhouse kick. And this is where Okada Irish whip him right to the left side, but he slides right from bouncing right through the ropes. And he was like, you cannot destroy me or try to take me out that easy. This is where we got Okada's like, wow, you little before he can even say his nickname, this is where he tried to clothesline him. This is where Pac ducks out of the way. He bounced right through the ropes, gets German suplex by the former NXT champion. This is where he tried to clothesline him out of there, but this is where the Young Bucks slide him back down. This is where Pac's like, you know what? Like, I'm like, before they leave, I have a few things to ask them, and I'm gonna talk to them right here, right now. Like, y'all y'all lucky this time that y'all escape alive. Like, but I must let you know that the bastard Pac is officially back, and everybody's like, yes, we get to see plenty more of our favorite wrestler and the former All-Atlantic champion. As well, like, we're gonna be making more often appearances. I believe he must have. I think he suffered an injury. I don't think he had visa issue. I mean, at first he might have, but I think he was injured, and it kept him out for like nearly a year, like about 9 months. But yeah, Pac was back. This is where he then continued on his microphone saying like, and now. And I'm gonna promise you, I'm gonna give you a fight that y'all never soon to forget. And if you and he's like, it seems like y'all looking for trouble. You three gentlemen are, and then if you're looking for trouble, like, you're certainly barking up the exact right tree, like right over here inside this very ring, like so. Like, accept this challenge I'm about to give to you, boys. Like, you want some? Like, I'll gladly give it to you. Each and every three of you troublemaking terrorists. Like, because like that old saying goes, you reap what you sow. Something that my mom would say. Like, catchphrase, like when karma comes back, like when bad karma comes back, the people that do something bad, of course, but that's another story for another day. But anyways, this is where fans like, yeah, like, that's right, what he just said. And this is where Eddie Kingston's like, and yeah, I got something to say too, you three troublemaking clowns. Like you want to attack me like twice, like, and you think you're gonna get away with it? Like, how about next week at Big Business edition of AEW Dynamite in Boston, Massachusetts? Like make it a 16. Not 16. Like, how about we make this into a 6-man tag team That's a championship 6-man tag team match. I'll be horrible at bloopers right now. Like, well, I mean, I should say I'll be a perfect blooper man. Like, if they show any bloopers of me making some mistakes like this, I need to start editing these videos. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how to do so successfully, but I probably will come around. Just wait and see when I get there. Like, I'm gonna let you guys know that I'm starting to edit out these videos and make it more interesting to watch. But anyways, this is where Eddie Kingston asked the three, Okada and the Young Bucks, saying like, how about three of y'all against the three of us, me, Penta, and Pac, in a 6-man tag team match? And this is where it was like, okay, like you asked for it, like you do not want to mess with us. And this is where Eddie King's like, no, you don't want to mess with me and my championship right here. Like, how about? And this is where he's like, and you, Okada, you want this belt? Like, you're just going, the only way you're gonna get this time if you can retrieve it from my cold dead body. And then this is where Okada's like, what if that's what it takes to become that precious and prestigious Continental Championship? Then I will make sure that you will be frozen and deceased. Like, but yeah, this where it was official that this is one of the matches that's going to be on AEW Big Business, which I think they're doing a pretty good job booking this this edition of AEW Dynamite, like if it's a pay-per-view, much rather than a weekly televised show. And we might be seeing a surprised announcement of a new signing of a certain CEO wrestler or superstar. I guess they would like to be referred as a professional wrestler. And why am I referring to this person as they? Because I'm not sure if it's a male or a female. I'm just kidding. No, I assume it's a female, though. Yeah, we all know who exactly it is. But let me know in the comments down below about this match, though. Like, even though this whole show is about the new signing and debut of the hometown hero, Mercedes Moné, of course. But yeah, we're going to see if that's the case. Like, when we see all these matches like this one and Willow Nightingale against Riho and Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the AEW World Championship and Darby Allin against Jay White before Darby Allin goes to, to Mount Everest. And again, I want to wish him the safest luck of climbing Mount Everest and come back from the mountain alive, which something just tells me he will, and he's going to be taking that safety precaution, even though he does everything but safety precautions in wrestling. But that's a totally different ball game than climbing a mountain. That's the biggest mountain in the world. But anyways, this is where we got Darby. They hype up Darby Allin doing that and hyping up his match against Jay White, which some say could be Jay White winning. Because they need to continue gaining that momentum as him being a future main event star in the All Elite company. He's already looking like a star, even as the Trios Tag Team Champion. But it's not the championship that makes you a star. It's the man that makes the championships and your own self that makes you a star, like by showing your appearance and showing your impressive performance in that very ring. But it's where we got Mariah May in action against their usual grappling until she sent it right to the upper right corner side and doing her beating onto the I'm not sure if she's Jamaican or African wrestling star, but Mariah May eventually did hit her finishing maneuver after grappling against her after hitting a double arm pulling knee strike right to the face of her, pin her with her hands, with her licking her hands with the referee counting the 1, 2, 3, and this is where Mariah May's like, yeah, that's right, I'm gonna be exactly the next Toni Storm, and I'll think it's only a matter of time when she betrays her, and then when she do, that's good. What's going to make Toni Storm more over than she already is with this gimmick in total. But anyways, this is where we got Thomas Toni Storm coming out to announce who's the winner and the Tony Award winner of the best female of All Elite Wrestling. And I was thinking to myself, it's probably going to be herself. I wouldn't be surprised. And this is where Thomas Toni Storm shockingly, announced that it was Mariah May. And I was like, really? That's kind of shocking. But at the same time, I was like, if she did choose somebody other than herself, it's going to obviously be her assistant, none other, her assistant and her number one fan, Mariah May, which that was the case. But yeah, this is where she tried to present her the award, but this is where she got attacked behind from her former best friend, Deonna Purrazzo. And this is where Mariah May came out trying to come for the save of Deonna Purrazzo. And this is where she started hitting the axle, slamming her face first right into the stage, started trying to stomp on her. This is where Mariah May then picks up Deonna Purrazzo with Time Storm hitting her boots and stomps right on her, with Mariah May going for a running or going for a slamming DDT on the Deonna Purrazzo's face right on the stage, like confirming that they're not. I would say not really confirming, like teasing that they could possibly have a match, if not at the Big Business edition of AEW Dynamite, maybe next week on AEW Collision. I'll say. I guess on the safe side of things, like if they don't have enough space to add this match on Big Business, they could just wait until how many days later? Which it's like 4 days from now from Big Business is going to be airing on TV. So I would say the next 3 more days after that. So that's 7 days, of course. Like when we probably have this match, and who you think's going to win? Which we will predict that it's going to be Deonna Purrazzo, at least most of us, because it's obvious that she's not done with Timeless Toni Storm per se. And I think they're going to have they're going to have a rematch for the AEW Women's Championship, but this time it'll be in Dynasty or even Double or Nothing. Maybe we could see like a trilogy of matches, but I think they should end this right. In this pay-per-view that's next month on April. Like, if they don't, like, what would be the point? Like, especially if she's not going to successfully win, that's going to kill the momentum and the credibility that Deonna Purrazzo had brought into AEW, like from her experiences and her experiences and her star power from other companies such as TNA, Ring of Honor, and wherever she gained it at on other wrestling promotions, but mostly Ring of Honor and TNA Impact. But this is where we got Thomas Storm boastfully saying like, "You'll never beat me for my women's championship." And as for you, my darling Mariah, like I want you to have this, my very famous and prestigious Tony Award. This is where Mariah May is like, yeah, this is the best achievement I could ever accomplish in pro wrestling. Like getting an award from my wrestling hero herself, Toni Storm. Like, yay! Like this is such a joyful moment. But I want to give her congratulations, even though this is kind of I'll say cringy in a way, but not in a bad way. But you know what I mean? Like, it may be silly and cringy, but I want to give her congratulations anyway. I would like to see, like, plenty of people like this achieving their dreams of meeting their idols or even being an idol themselves, like, and being an inspiration to wrestling fans that came to see wrestlers that are successful and popular and very entertaining to watch. And it's where everybody was cheering for Mariah May to finally did it, which I'm not sure what only just being best assistant. But it's where she posed right in front of Deonna Purrazzo right on camera with the trophy.